Good morning, everybody. My name is Ethan Quall. Welcome, welcome to the new home of Urban Sprouts.
Come on, high five me. High five me. High five me. You did it. You did it. We rehearsed that, y'all. Now he needs a bigger round of applause than that. We rehearsed that. We rehearsed it over and over, and then he said, "I'm hungry." Okay, so Ethan gets to eat again. Thank you so much to Ethan. He is the son of our founder. You'll meet her in just a second. Let me officially introduce myself, Carol Daniel from KMOX Radio, and it is again an honor to be here this morning. This is a wonderful day for the Urban Sprouts Child Development Center. It's also an impactful day for the many families who entrust their children to our care day after day, year after year. So many generous friends and supporters, and of course to this wonderful community. We are thrilled that our forever home is located here in University City. The first location, as you know, opened back in 2009. So this is a full circle moment to have this magnificent expansion take place right here in University City. Shout out to U City, y'all. What's up? U City in the house. And what better way to welcome you than the mayor of this great city. Would you please welcome University City Mayor Shelley Welsh.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I am very glad to be here today. And on behalf of the City of University City and the people of University City, I would like to thank Urban Sprouts for choosing to consolidate all its operations back here in University City. I remember years ago when you did the first location, it was so nice to see something else come into that space where JD Designs had been. You have been a great resident in University City, and we are glad that you are choosing to come back to make this your formal home. We all know how important early childhood education is, and unfortunately it is not as extensive in our society as it needs to be, and as our society needs and as it should be. As I drove over today from City Hall, which is up on Delmar, I realized that with Urban Sprouts coming to University City and the University City Children's Center just a block or two away and the Julia Goldstein Early Childhood Center just a block or so away, that this part of University City is now a high-quality early childhood education district for the city of St. Louis. And I hope that your arrival here may encourage others to come and locate in this great part of University City and of St. Louis County. I am also very pleased that you have chosen to reuse this building. University City has a sustainability policy, a master plan in place. We encourage the reuse of buildings, and I believe that this reuse is innovative and will be a model for other cities around the region for reusing older manufacturing and industrial sites for projects such as this. So thank you for doing this. So I am pleased to be here today and on behalf of the people of University City, and I'm happy for the parents and the children who will be able to take advantage of this center in the many years to come. And I am pleased to know how this facility will have an impact not only on our children, but on our society for years to come, because as I said, we all know about how important those early years are. So thank you for having me here. I'm glad to be here for the groundbreaking and look forward to coming back when it's all finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And with that, we'd like to recognize any other public officials who are in the house with us. If you would please wave or stand. Any elected officials who are with us today in the back, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your service, Also, a special thank you to our Urban Sprouts Board of Directors. Where are our Board of Directors this morning? Would you please stand? Go ahead and stand. You can't do anything without a good board. You have to have an excellent board in place, and we have that at Urban Sprouts. The Illinois Facilities Fund has been integral to this project. Stephen Westbrook and Edgar Velasquez are here. We believe they are. We want to thank them as well in the back there. Thank you so much, right there. Thank you, sirs. And from the University City Children's Center, Stephen Wallach. Where are you, Wallach? There he is, bow-tied up. We love it. Thank you so much, Stephen. And you know, my real estate agent, this is a personal story, about 15 seconds long. You're going to love it. Our real estate agent is a friend. A good real estate agent is worth his or her weight in gold. So we are going to say to our real estate agent that you are worth your weight in gold today. Please thank Susan Sauer. Susan, where are you? Susan, thank you so much. I mean, if you've ever had a bad real estate agent, you know you love your good real estate agent. Thank you again. So we are standing in this building because of our community development partner, Illinois Facilities Fund, better known as IFF. It is their partnership and guidance that has been invaluable to this process. Please welcome David Desai Ramirez, Executive Director of the Southern Region of IFF.
So you guys will have to indulge me a little bit today. There's quite a few people to thank, but I think everybody that was involved in this project knows it was a ton of hard work. So I think taking at least 6 minutes that I have here to thank these folks. Three. Says 6 right here. Give him 6, he'll take 10. So first of all, I want to congratulate the children and the families. I think there's so many kids in St. Louis without access to high quality early education. I think I think we should center ourselves today, and this is all fun and fancy and great, and we're going to talk about a lot of financing tools and people that have helped and adults that have helped, but we all did this and woke up every day, and Alicia and I battled in a friendly way through this because of the kids, right? And we woke up and did it because of the kids. So I know you're all here because of that, and I see some other really high quality early education providers out here too. So thank you for your work, and let's just make sure that, you know, congratulations to the children and families, because this is a real asset. Also congratulations to Urban Sprouts, and congratulations to U City. I'm really thrilled. As an organization that does tons of work and has done tons of work for 30 years in early ed, we've learned to recognize quality early ed, and it's really nice to know that the city and the mayor and the council and everyone, Department of Planning and Development, realize what an asset high quality early ed is. So that's fabulous to hear. IFF, you know, this is why we're here, and we're just really proud and appreciative to be part of this project. And fortunately, we had some pretty cool, innovative financial tools that we could bring to bear on the project. But at the end of the day, it's our pleasure to be able to wake up and do this work every day and support great organizations like Alicia's. So now for some quick acknowledgments, I'd like to acknowledge, first, can we give a hand to Alicia and her staff? I mean, it's a fabulous school. So we all know that quality early education is really, really hard, right? It's really hard to do. It's just a resource-constrained environment in most states, more so in Missouri. So it's a battle, and she does it really well. To do that and then layer on something like the Reggio Emilia model makes it even harder, right? And then to do that and layer on the Reggio Emilia model and use state and Head Start subsidy to make sure that that high-quality program is accessible to all is really, some would say, impossible, and lots of folks wouldn't be up to the task, but kudos to Alicia for taking on that challenge and committing her life's work to that. So great job. Kudos to the board. I personally witnessed, my wife is the board president, lots of like 1:30 a.m. meetings, working through underwriting and analysis and such to support this. So, and then the rest of the board, you know, convening at midnight to do last minute votes on, you know, do we buy the building or not. So great job, board. I think you guys stepped up and showed a real commitment. The city, you know, the city planning and development really worked shoulder to shoulder with Alicia and IFF through this whole process, and it was apparent from the beginning that they were just really supportive and really glad to have us. Raymond Lai from the city came out and visited the school 3 or 4 times and talked to the kids. So the city's been very, very supportive. And I personally am a resident of U City, and it just makes me feel proud to know that our city's supporting such great work. So thank you to everyone in the city. Couple of others. I think we should at least name the McCarthy family, who's a seller. They had their business in U City for a long time and chose to sort of move to expand and relocate. But this was a very, very long and arduous process to buy and finance this building, and they were pretty darn patient with us. So I just really appreciate that and hope that gets back to them. Susan, also want to acknowledge you and also the seller's agent, Brendan. I think you and Brendan worked fabulously together through all the challenges to sort of make it work. And then Blackline and Jima, I think, there's a lot of contractors and architects who say they're committed to good work and such, but these guys did a lot of free work, right? And just on the faith that this would happen. So kudos to you guys for walking the talk. That's awesome. And then I think it's really important to talk about just a couple of other, IFF's known as a community development finance institution, and we're a nonprofit financial institution that bridges the gap between sort of private bank capital and public money. And this story started, 7, 8 years ago, really because of several other CDFIs. And so I know that Alicia had a startup loan from First Children's Finance, which is another community development finance institution, and then also has been very, very strongly supported by Justine Peterson. So those are our CDFI colleagues, and these types of organizations are working really hard in St. Louis, often under the radar, and you're not reading about them in the paper or seeing what they're doing in the news, but they're doing really amazing work and helping organizations like this expand and grow. So kudos to those other CDFIs. And then last but not least, to the IFF team who's here. We're headquartered in Chicago, so we have about 80 people in Chicago, 3 people on the ground here, 4 people on the ground here. And this project was touched or supported or worked on by like over 15 people at our organization over the last year, so across all our departments. So kudos to the team. Specifically, special thanks to Edgar and Steven. They really rolled up their sleeves, and really this would not be happening without them waking up every day and working really hard. So good job, Steven. Great job, Edgar. So I know I'm out of time, but I'm just gonna tell you, I kind of have 4 takeaways from this event and this process, and I hope that folks can share these takeaways with me and perhaps just use them as food for thought as you move forward in your life. But one is that there are tools and resources available to help expand high-quality early education centers, right? They're here and they're available. This building is testament to that. But, and that's a big but it is, and I have this in all caps on my notes here, very, very difficult to leverage those resources to expand early childhood, quality early childhood. It takes a legion of people and organizations working really tirelessly, and that's not just like a good word to put in an adjective, that's like people are working tirelessly over a really long period of time, in addition to luck. We got really lucky that this building was in a new market tax credit eligible parcel and is also in the promise zone. So there's resources, but it's extremely hard to put it all together to make it work. And there's still, and Steve and Katie can probably correct me on this, but there's still over 10,000 kids. I don't have an exact number, but I know there's over 10,000 kids in this St. Louis MSA without access to high quality early ed. And to me, that seems like a social justice issue. It doesn't seem like it should be this hard. So it's incumbent upon every person in this room and all your professional networks that we tell the story of how hard it is, and that we vote and support policies that increase funding for early ed, right? So let's put some pressure on our legislators to realize that this is really important. And then, let's be really smart and focused with our charity, right? We have financial advisors, and we watch Jim Cramer, and we let people tell us how to invest money for our retirement, but then when it's time to give charity, we often just go stroke a check because it feels good. right? But let's be really smart and let's look out and let's say, where is the money really needed? Where are those social services that are really resource constrained? And how can we collectively fund and help get over some of those hurdles? So that would be my takeaways from today. Again, congratulations, and I look forward to seeing everybody at the ribbon cutting.
Well, I, for one, am glad that he went 6 minutes because those were wise words indeed. Thank you again. Thank you so much, David. Certainly it doesn't happen without a beautiful design. Please welcome John Mueller from Gemma Architects.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here. I'd also like to congratulate Alicia and all of her colleagues and staff today. It's a really special moment, I know for you and your staff, excuse me, but also for Gemma and for Blackline to be here and to be working on this project with you. So thank you. About, I guess it was several months ago, I got a phone call from Mark Rowenda, our construction partner, and he said, hey, would you like to interview for a new child development center? And I said, sure, that sounds exciting. I knew how important childhood development is for my kids when they grew up. They're teenagers now, but I knew how important that type of facility is. And I said, when is the interview? And he said, it's in 3 days. So I said, well, okay, well, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's pull it together, and let's do some research on Urban Sprouts. And I did some research, and a couple of things that I thought were really unique and really wonderful about Urban Sprouts, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that. And I'm actually going to tie Urban Sprouts to Winston Churchill, believe it or not, but I'm going to do that. The great statesman said many, many years ago, we shape our buildings, and afterwards they shape us. And that's a profound statement. That means that our environment helps teach our children. And that is also part of the Reggio program, that the environment is the third teacher. We really love that, and we really felt that that was important to support Urban Sprouts because of that philosophy. So within these walls here, right, we're going to create a new environment that's going to be that third teacher. So I thought that was so wonderful and so smart and so profound what Alicia told us in our interview, that the children are the center of this community. I just spoke just today to Jennifer Strange, who's a consultant that we've been working with, and I said, can you put in one word what the Reggio program is about? And she said that we work to discover the giftedness within every child. And so our job as architects, I think, is to create that environment that allows that discovery of those gifts to occur. And to my left is a rendering of the exterior of this building. Thank you. Which is a view from looking south from the parking lot back here, which will actually become the new entrance, which will be over here. And then to my right is a view of what we call the Main Street. So we've got a couple of really neat features that are going to go into this building, and I'll repeat what David said is I'm so excited for the children. They're really going to be the benefits of this. So running east-west along here, we have a Main Street. This Main Street is going to connect all the classrooms. It's also going to be lit with skylights, so we're going to be bringing in a lot of natural light into this space, which I'm sure, as we all know, is so important for childhood development. We're going to have a central piazza out in the front, which will serve as a place for the kids to eat, but also a place for events like this to occur, for community gathering. We're going to have ateliers, small spaces, all along the classrooms, which will be areas for the children to learn outside of the classroom. There'll be a great playground, outdoor playground, just outside of this garage door, which will be a fantastic place for the children to learn outdoors. There'll be 11 classrooms here. It's about 10,000 square feet. And one of the other neat features will be a teaching kitchen. So not only will the food be prepared here, but it'll also be an opportunity for the kids to understand where their food comes from and how that food is prepared. So again, I want to congratulate you, Alicia. I want to thank you for selecting us. We're really excited to be on your team. I want to thank the IFF and David and Edgar, and also Blackline, our teammate Mark Rowenda, for this great opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, John. Well, perhaps the best way to learn about a school is to talk to a parent of a child who attends that school. I would say perhaps our most special guest today is a parent. Please welcome Maya Elkanah.
All right. So, hi. When Alicia asked me if I'd like to say a few words on what it means to be an Urban Sprouts family, I knew the answer immediately. Being an Urban Sprouts family means being a member of a diverse, loving community where each individual is respected and valued. The teachers are highly trained and skilled professionals who partner with parents. They don't tell us what we should do, they don't tell us what they're doing, they talk to us and they help us understand our children's development and what's the best way to move forward, and they get our opinions as well. We have these shared goals of raising inquisitive children who can confidently make a difference in the world, knowing their own worth and respecting the value of others. Parenting is really hard, as you probably know, those of you who are parents. There are a lot of choices. There's so many expectations, there's so much judgment, and it's all on you as the parent not to mess it up. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but they never ever tell you where to find your village. And so many families are left isolated. Urban Sprouts lives their values of diversity and community every day by bringing families together for fellowship at every opportunity. There's the annual events like our chili cook-off, cultural picnics, and then there are little things like we taste snacks that the children prepare with the herbs and produce that they grow in the garden. And then curriculum nights where parents work together with their children on crafts to learn about what their children are experiencing in the classroom. These events and the community spirit that they foster don't just happen. It takes time, it takes money, it takes intentionality, and it takes a great deal of effort. And for that, I am extremely grateful to Alicia Qualls and Andrea Berrigan and all of the teachers at Urban Sprouts. If it takes a village to raise a child, then Urban Sprouts is a crucial part of my and my family's village. Thank you.
Urban Sprouts has had a remarkable relationship with youth in need. They have been a support in far too many ways to name this morning. We want to take a moment to acknowledge them for their support. I know we have some folks with youth in need who are here with us today. Would you please stand, those who are here from Youth in Need back there? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for what you do. Hopefully you did get your wonderful bookmark that we want you to use and show people and talk about the Urban Sprouts history, but I want to give you a few highlights before our guest of honor speaks this morning. Urban Sprouts Child Development Center was founded by Alicia Qualls in 2009 at their University City location. It is nationally accredited by the National Association of the Education of Young Children. Alicia designed a space where children from diverse walks of life would feel at home and invited. Colorful, richly textured, and vibrant spaces for children to play and to think. Spaces for learning, exploration, and reflection. Spaces to build in, to dream in, to share in. Urban Sprouts expanded in 2012 to open its doors at its second location at 9120 Olive. The natural green space surrounding the building is what drew them to that location. Being able to offer children authentic experiences outdoors is an important aspect of the vision of Urban Sprouts. In 2014, they saw the need for children to be more involved in the learning process. So they began working in the Reggio Emilia approach, which is a world-renowned curriculum which respects all children as active participants in their own learning. Urban Sprouts in 2015 changed its business status to nonprofit, and they did so in order to expand their reach in the community to make the school accessible to all children. So we fast forward to today, breaking ground on this new, wonderfully fragrant facility that will serve 128 families in a mixed-income Reggio Emilia model. You have tissues in hand? You ready? Okay. To make any of this happen takes heart, it takes vision, it takes grit and determination. Please allow me to introduce the visionary, the founder of Urban Sprouts Child Development Center, Alicia Qualls.
Wow, thank you. Good morning. It's a little spicy in here, don't you think? Thank you so much, Carol Daniel, for the wonderful introduction to the city mayor. We are so excited to make University City our forever home. We started here in 2009, and we're coming back. So my children grew up partly on the eastern end of University City, where my daughter Alexis attended Pershing Elementary, and Ethan attended our first Urban Sprouts on Midland. I initially built the school very selfishly for my children, because I come from a family of 72 grandchildren. So I was accustomed to having a home-like setting all the time, where love and the love of learning was always encouraged, and that's something I wanted to extend to my children. So I started out in this little gas station, offering opportunities for my children and the children in the community, and today we build a school for everyone. So I'm so excited, like I can hardly contain it. It has been a pleasure working with many of the people in the room, and many people have supported us along the way. I'd like to thank Steve Zwolek, Katie, Ron, Carol Scott, and many other champions in the early childhood field. I see Peaches Lot, Jasmine Sullivan, and Jasmine Marshall. And if I left your name out, there are so many I could thank in the early care and education field: Brenda Fife, Jennifer Strange. But I want to say thank you for setting the bar high. We have this opportunity in St. Louis to really, really invest in our children, and it takes all of us pushing each other to the next level to keep each other accountable and to keep each other open to new possibilities. So I appreciate you all. The major collaborators at the table have been our children. I can remember going down to the Grasshopper Room and sharing with them that we had finally purchased the building and we were ready to build. So I asked one of the teachers to record a video that could be shown today, and there was so much excitement that we couldn't bring the video because it was just lots of screaming, like, yay, it's so exciting, oh my gosh, look at this. So they spent time doing this celebration, and I couldn't take the renderings back from them. So the renderings have been in the pre-K room for the last month, and every time I would come into work, I would be encouraged by the children to come see what was happening. Miss Alicia, come see what's happening. It's changing. And so I would like to introduce our youngest architects on the project to you all. Grasshoppers, please join us. By the facilitation, yes, they deserve a huge round of applause. They're such a fine group of children. By the facilitation of Janine Woodruff and Fiona Lee, these children have been thoughtful about the plans that were created with Blackline GEMA. Like I said, I came into the classroom and daily I would see progress on a 3D model that these children have created. The teachers spent time looking at the facility with Google Earth. The children know exactly where the center is located. They have told me there's 4 points of Olive, and there's an alley behind our school, and I don't know if that's going to be the best place for us to come through. And we talked about how it would all be set up and where their playground would be, where the slides would be. And so they had more questions than I can answer, so they decided to write the architects a letter. In this letter, they asked questions of the architects, and the architects joined us yesterday in a conversation to answer many of their questions and to see their renderings. And I would say that they've done a fabulous job in creating a space that they call their own, their new Urban Sprouts. So I invite you to please stay and take the tour of the mock classroom, where you can see they have done 2 models, one with Legos, which will be found here in one of the rooms, and then they've done another with blocks. And the amount of detail and love that went into this project is beyond amazing. So please help me in thanking them for being at the table. And before I get down today, I just would like to leave this last comment with you all. Maya mentioned it a little bit in her speech, and she said it takes a village to raise a child. It does take a village to raise a child, but it takes a world to raise these children. I had the fortune of visiting Reggio Emilia, Italy in March this year, and I was really inspired by the work that is being done with the children there and the respect that children have at a very young age. Their international center is housed in an old Parmesan factory, so how fitting for our school to be in a former spice factory. So we look forward to not just having conversations with our colleagues, students, and families from our city and our country, but we look forward to this being a place of destination for our children to meet people from around the world. And I hope that you all have that same possibility for them as well. The sky's the limit. And as the children say at Urban Sprouts, Miss TT, we love this place. So thank you for coming and joining us today as we celebrate in this momentous occasion. And I hope to see you along our journey. Thank you.
I just wanted to say to Alicia that those of you who know the late Maya Angelou, who are familiar with any of her work at all, the poet, the author, the dancer, the singer, the actress, the writer, she once said that when people show you who they are, believe them. Generally, we use that phrase when we're talking about someone who has questionable character. Generally, that's how we use that phrase. If he was an idiot, believe him. If she was a liar, believe her. This morning, I want to use it in a different way. I want to give it a different connotation, a different expectation. That when someone shows you their vision, their heart, their loving ways, when someone shows you that they care about the community, that they are willing to be your village, when someone shows you who they are, as Alicia has shown this community who she is, we should believe her. And the mayor believes her. City council members believe her. The IFF believes her. Her real estate agent believed her. These children believe her. Their parents believe her. And so we want to believe her as well. I encourage you, when you leave here after this groundbreaking, after lunch, to tell people what you have seen today, but more importantly, tell them how you felt about what you saw today. Because we need more voices and more soldiers involved in this effort to give young children the quality education that they need. So when you showed us who you were, we believed you. And we have this to show for it today. One more time, congratulations. 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 High fives all around for Urban Sprouts. Now, a couple of points of direction. Those who are physically taking part in the groundbreaking, we want you to leave first, but as you do, we want to thank the University City Band, the Eric Slaughter Trio, which is a duo, but it's a trio, really, over there, as I can count. That's 2, not 3, but it's still a trio. We thank you so much for the wonderful music today. We also want to thank, again, our Urban Sprouts Board of Directors, our supporters, and our friends who are here today. To Child Care Aware, we thank you for the work that you do. And to Blackline, bye, little ones. We love you. We love you. Yes, we do. We do. We really do. We really, really do. We really do. And again, we are going to move on to the next part of our program, the heart of it today, and that is going to be facilitated by our architect, Gemma, who will walk us through the groundbreaking and the reveal of the sign, which is outside. And we want you to join us outside for that portion of the program. It will be very brief, we promise you. And don't leave after that, because again, if you saw the food truck, it is outside for you. I'm going to call my news director and say, the food truck's blocking my car. I can't leave. So do please stick around and join us for lunch. The food and the food truck is provided for you. Follow the yellow arrows as well to take a tour of the facility. Take pictures. Before and after is going to be amazing. So please do that and learn ways to connect with us and support Urban Sprouts in this tremendous season of growth. If we could please, our individuals taking part in the groundbreaking, we want you to leave first, and then everyone else will follow outside. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again.
1, 2, 3.